Did you know at this very moment someone is on Amazon and Etsy actively looking for a quality coloring and activity book to add to their shopping cart? The only question is, will it be yours? Since you're listening to this podcast, hence the name of the show, it's pretty safe to assume that you have a keen interest in creating and selling your first or next coloring book. And it's for that reason I want to assure you you're in the right place. And I'd like to help you make it a reality by inviting you to check out the Coloring Book Creator Mentor Program, the first of its kind complete A to Z course that features live weekly coaching, resources, templates, and an extremely supportive online community, all designed to assure that you create a standout in-demand coloring book that you'll actually enjoy creating, promoting, and selling. Imagine the feeling of knowing somewhere in the world someone is adding your beautiful new book to their shopping cart, investing in a piece of your creativity. Enrollment is open and you can get started by going to coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. That's coloringbookcreatorcourse.com. You're listening to the Coloring Book Creator Podcast, Episode 1. The interview you're about to listen to is from a 5-part series I produced called Coloring Book Creator Live, featuring 5 students from my Publish and Promote Your First Coloring Book in 30 Days Challenge program. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation with coloring book author Lorayne Dawson, creator of the coloring book Sarcastic Coloring and Journaling. Lorayne, let's start back from the very beginning. What were you doing before you decided to publish a coloring book?
So before I was doing the colouring book, I used to be a nurse. I worked in various parts of nursing. So I was a theatre nurse, recovery nurse, and an eye nurse. And then, unfortunately, I had some ill health, so I had to retire early. And then during lockdown, we were homeschooling. So one of the things is my youngest is really good at art. So we enrolled in some art lessons, but he wouldn't do them on his own. I had to do them with him. And I kept saying to him, I can't draw. I'm not very good at art, because I'd been told by a teacher at school that I wasn't very good. And actually, I really enjoyed the process of learning to draw and colour. And so when the kids went back to school, I still wanted to do something that I could just pick up and put down. So I started colouring in just before Christmas last year, and then I started looking around for groups to join, and that's how I found this group. And made some really good friends, and that kind of like inspired me then to think about using my art in a different way.
Mm-hmm. I know that you had said you and I had a private conversation a while back that you said, well, you were speaking in general about your histories working in the nursing and how that inspired. I asked you how did it inspire the title of your book and what you decided to make your book around. You want to talk about that a little bit? The title of Lorraine's book is called Sarcastic Coloring and Journaling. It's a beautiful book, and I'm going to give you some details about how to check it out. But tell us how nursing inspired your book title.
So you have to have a kind of sense of humour to be a nurse, and to get you through the long shifts. We do have quite a dry sense of humour and quite a dark sense of humour. I always say my shifts are always got through on sarcasm and coffee.
Love that. Sarcasm and coffee. I love it. Someone says that's her kind of book. And I'll show some of the pages actually in it. You know, like I said, you can see more if you join Lorraine's Facebook group as well. And we'll put the link in the comments down there also for you. So this is one I like. I agree with you, but then we both be wrong. So this is some of my favorite quotes. Like I said, you have to get the book to see all the beautiful quotes inside of it. So thank you for sharing that. So let's move right on. Well, I've already said the name of your book, which is called Sarcastic Coloring and Journaling. And the name of your company is called Kovlali. Kovlali. Could you tell us a little bit about that and the title of your book?
So as a nurse, when I first started working, believe it or not, there was 4 Lorraines that worked in the same part of the hospital, in the same department in recovery. And they were like, well, we can't call you Lorraine because there's little Lorraine, and then there's blonde Lorraine, and then there's Lorraine, the recovery nurse. So I got called Lolly. So that's where the lolly comes from. And the COV, which is Cov, is where I'm from. So I'm from Coventry. although I don't live there anymore. So it's Coventry Lolly, Cov
I
Lolly.
love
So
that.
it
I don't
got
think I knew
shortened. Yeah,
that.
so that's where Cov Lolly's. And it started years and years ago when I started making cards. And I did
Okay.
scrapbooking and card making. And then I got into doing my knitting and my crochet. And some people have been on this journey with me from the very beginning, have seen me then doing my art and my colouring. And yeah, so it's kind of like evolved with me.
So you're multi-talented, as many artists are. You do a lot of different things, as we all do, so I love that. Thank you. I never knew that. Coventry, and your nickname was Lolly, and you just confused the two together. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I like that a lot. So tell us who the book is for, Lorayne.
So the book is for anybody who wants to just watch their mental health, who wants a bit of a laugh. The journaling side of it is as sarcastic as the sayings in the book itself. They are not to be taken seriously, but they're for you to have a giggle and have a laugh at. So,
I'll share this one page with you. She's talking about it. So she has a journal entry in the book, or journal page you can create. And it's called 5 Things I'd Put on a Vision Board If I Could Be Bothered to Make One.
yeah, and like 5 people that irritate me the least, It's, I think one of your favourites was 5 foods that are better than salad. It's
Yeah.
it's it's not to be taken, because you see all these people who want to journal 5 minutes a day is really good for you, and then you forget, you don't do it. So I thought, well, this is a kind of like journaling people could really get into, because it's funny and they can have a laugh with it, and then you get to colour the page as well.
I love it. I love it. It takes all of the seriousness off of things. And like I said, we all need to laugh more because there's so crazy. The world we live in right now with so much craziness going on in it right now. So I think to be able to have something that just, like I said, knocks the edge off. And I think when you laugh and you lighten up, then I think it helps to spark the creativity even more. So I love that. Someone asked if there was any bad words in the book.
There are no bad words in the book. There are no swear words. There's an initial that says F, but there is no bad words.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So what has been your, so now that you now have a published book, it's available on Amazon. It's beautiful. Like I said, I have my copy here. Just from the inspiration from doing this book and now actually having it published and done and available, what has been your most significant learning experience in this process of actually creating a book?
For me, it's getting over the procrastination. That's one of my things that I'm really, really good at doing. And then I get nothing complete. So for me, it's been able to do something from the beginning to the end and actually have it completed. That's a big thing for me. One of my sayings is I do put the pro in procrastination.
I love it. And what would you say to anyone who is thinking about or thinking, well, I don't know what I'd make a book about? What would you tell them? I have no idea, whatever.
Oh, I mean, just do it. I have had the best time doing it over the summer. Yeah, I've been on holiday and I've done all this stuff, but I've still managed to get a book out there. And it's not as hard as you think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always people to help you, like Rodney has helped me through my journey. There's always help there if you ask for it. And that's the thing, you have to ask for the help. If you don't know what to do, put your hands up and say, look, I've got this idea, but I don't know what to do about it. Speak to me, speak to Rodney, or speak to anyone in the group. I'm sure that we can point you in the right direction.
That's been one of the things that I've enjoyed about this whole experience, because you all are so talented and you all support each other as well. And then give me the opportunity to be able to support you, because the initial idea behind creating this, I guess I call it a course, was I did a sample little training that I did called How to Find a Coloring Book Idea. And that was the initial impetus for doing this. And what happened was I helped them research an idea, come up with an idea that had inspiration, personal meaning for them, because I believe that it all comes from each of us anyway. As at the time, I didn't know Lorayne had been a nurse. I didn't know any really thing about her background, but she used all of that and created something actually quite beautiful. Now, she does have an artistic background to begin with anyway, but again, you really don't have to be a quote unquote pro artist or having been drawing or coloring since you were in the womb, as many people do believe, as a creative, to see something so extraordinary and so beautiful and so well done. And I think quite witty. When you go through and you read all your prompts and your pages, it's a fun book. It's a nice, relaxing, uh, way to kind of take a break from the day and just enjoy yourself. So I really appreciate and applaud what you've done because it's really quite brilliant and very intelligent. So I love it a lot.
Thank you. I just want people to enjoy it.
Yeah. And that's what we all do. That's why we all do this anyway. We want to just have that time to relax and to play and to take a break from the seriousness of the world. And I think to make fun at it a little bit this way, and again, have a laugh, I think helps a lot of us, just get a little bit of respite from everything going on and enjoy life a little bit more. So again, I appreciate your contribution tremendously. And I'm so glad that you agreed. Any final words for anyone listening about any of it, the book, how to connect with you?
Yeah, so I do have my own little group. It's called Adult Colouring with Covlolly. And it's not just about colouring in my book, it's any colouring. I just want to encourage people to reach out and have fun together doing something that we all enjoy. So I do have my little group, and I do have some free colouring pages if you join. So you can have a little go at some of my colouring pages. They're not the ones from the book, but they are very, very similar to the ones in the book.
Okay.
And then the book is on Amazon, so you can either look for me that way, Lorayne Dawson. You can put me in and find my book.
Okay.
I've got some notebooks on there as well, but yeah, that's how you can find me on Amazon. But I will put the links up so people can have a look. I'll do both UK and US links.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, and I was going to post a link, but I realized that there's two different links. So I think the best way to learn more about the book and how to get it and about Lorayne in general is to join. I did put the link to her Facebook group inside the chat here. I don't know if it goes to all the different locations, but I did put the link in there. So that's, I think, the best way to connect and stay connected with her. She has an active group. And again, I didn't know about the bonus pages that you're doing. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for offering that. I appreciate you supporting Lorayne and all of the artists. She's a brilliant woman. She's got a big heart and a beautiful book. And I encourage you to support her. It would mean the world to me. Take care and God bless.
Bye-bye. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Links to the author's book and other resources are available in the show notes.